Leaders in California's cattle industry joined together for the Resilience 2020 campaign, reassuring consumers that ranchers are still producing an ample supply of safe and sustainable beef. Chair of the California Cattle Council, Dave Daley, joins us now for a further look. And thanks for taking the time to chat with us, Dave. If you would, give us a little background on this initiative. How did it come about?
Certainly. California Cattle Council was a self-funded program of California cattle producers. Think of it as the checkoff program with a twist. It applies to California only, assesses $1, and it's also refundable to producers. So we have an obligation to produce. The idea is these funds will work to really highlight not just beef, but our production systems in California and what we do in terms of raising cattle. So, and obviously that just got going last year. This is the first year that we're in full operation, and timing is everything. But unfortunately, instead of doing some of the projects we wanted to, it's COVID-19 and the impact to the meat supply, and reassuring our consumers that the ranchers are here to stay. I mean, we're a tough bunch. We're resilient. We'll work through this process. It's important that consumers know that the product's safe, that we'll deliver it. We've got some hiccups, as we know, in the whole market structure. As I listen to your news and we see it nationally, the packing plant restrictions really scary to consumers. But our resilience tells us that we'll come through this. We come through tough battles before, and California cattlemen are committed to do so for our consumers.
And Dave, what kind of concerns have you been hearing from consumers during this time? And of course, how is this campaign going to address those concerns?
Well, it's a variety of things, but the primary one has been supply. Is it available? As I walk into the retail outlet, how come the shelves are vacant? We need to assure producers consumers hoarding isn't the option. We're going to get that product to them, but that is our primary concern and question from consumers is where is the product? The good thing out of that is they want our product, and that's an encouragement. Many of you stepped into retail markets, and I've looked at a few myself, even though we raise our own beef, and it's interesting. There's no beef on the shelf, but there's plenty of fake proteins out there still to buy. So it tells us our consumers want the product. We have an obligation to make sure our workers are safe, but we get those plants moving and get that product out to them as soon as possible.
Dave, what would you say are maybe a couple of the highlights from this initiative and your hopes moving forward?
Well, one of the things we need to do is this will pass. This too shall pass. I'm old enough to know that we're going to go through crisis after crisis, is to build a relationship with consumers that they trust the ranching community to do the right thing, that we're resilient. We'll be there in the future. We sustainable practices. We work in our operations to protect the environment. They need to use this. We need to use this opportunity to not only build the importance of we're going to come through this supply issue, but the ranchers care for what they do in this state. We're part of it. We're a resilient group. We think Californians will be too.
All right, Dave, thank you very much for your insight. Again, Dave Daley, he's with the California Cattle Council on the phone with us this afternoon.